Hello YouTube, Al here, and I thought I'd start a little bit differently with a bit of an impromptu jam. Just recorded some those three chords on my looper and a little bit of rubbish over it. So this is my new guitar. Yep, I bought another one. I'm not even sorry, to be honest. This is a Ibanez AS53. So it's a semi-hollow guitar. The back and sides and top are sapele mahogany. I can have a look in the F-hole. Don't know if you can see, but there are no lines. This is not ply, it is actual solid wood. Not that ply is a dirty word when it comes to ES and similar type guitars, semi-hollows. So, I mean, Gibson have made it's maple, poplar, maple. Again, this is all just solid wood, so it's a different sort of animal, but a similar sort of shape. I got this second hand with a broken jack socket that I then fixed within half an hour of me getting it for 100 quid. And they're about 270 new. And you know what? This really isn't bad at all. I just couldn't pass it up because I've tried some cheap Ibanez's in the past in shops and they just absolutely floored me with how playable they are and how good they feel and how sturdy everything is. Even these pickups are alright. I mean, this is a sub 300 quid guitar and I'd expect the pickups to be a bit rubbish because that's what you seem to get on Epiphone and Squire, in my opinion. But these are really nice. You can still tell they're inexpensive because there's no adjustable pole piece on them. They're just both slugs either side. There's a little bit of rust on them, but really there's not much wrong with this guitar. There's a scratch there, if you can see, and there's a little one around the side somewhere. There's a little ding, but apart from that, there's one or two little scratches on the back, very light scratches that you can't even see. The camera wouldn't even pick up. The neck, I believe, is maple or mahogany. I can't see any strips, so I believe that it's one piece. Very, very nicely finished in this satin finish. The block down the centre, I don't know what it's made from. It looks like maple, I think. It looks quite a light looking wood. But the back and sides of that are sapele, which is a species of mahogany. So it's got one volume and one tone, which coughs a little bit. I'll have to clean that out at some point. Three-way switch, which I really like. This is a very, very nice, high-quality three-way switch. It feels very positive, and really, this ain't going to break, this ain't going nowhere. To me, that's better than the Epiphone ones. I'm equating it to Epiphone because it's a similar layout with the Tune-o-matic and, you know, the three-way and that. The nut, nothing wrong with it. It looks a bit furry. That's because I've put some Vaseline in the nut slots to try and get it to stay in tune a bit better. These are very, very old strings, and I don't know how long they're going to last before they snap, which is why I recorded the jam at the start, because if I did a full review, I'm pretty sure one of them would snap and kill me. So there you have it. There's nothing really wrong with the hardware. Again, it's just a three-way switch. The drive you heard was a Electro Harmonix Crayon, which is a full spectrum overdrive. I bought it at the same time as the guitar because it was 20 quid, and the bloke was coming down anyway with this, so why wouldn't you? The way I fix the jack socket, I'll probably pop a picture in there here at some point, or just splash it in. So there's only two wires on it. There's the bare wire, which is the ground, and the wire with a bit of insulation around it, which is the hot wire with the signal. One of them had come off. It was the ground wire. I just fished it out of the F-hole with a screwdriver and then soldered it back in a way that it was behind, so that if a jack went in, it wouldn't affect the wires. It shouldn't break again. Nothing wrong with the jack. The jack feels reasonably good quality. Again, for less than 300 quid, you're not going to get an amazing quality electronics, but build quality of this, I really can't fault. A little bit untidy if you look in there. Just a little bit of bleed with the binding, and you get a little bit of this in little spots, really little spots all around, not all around, but yeah, around the edge of the guitar. It's not 100% neat, but I think that's just because of the construction of the thing. I think it's just the way it's constructed, to be honest. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. It doesn't even look bad. I mean, I'm pointing that out and saying that's a little bit untidy there, but there's not even anything wrong with it. It looks fine. Set neck, obviously. Got a really nice low action on this guitar. I have slightly raised the bridge because it chokes out a little bit, and I've lowered the truss rod, loosened the truss rod. Actually, I did not like the truss rod design at all when I first got this, because I thought, what the hell is that ugly thing? I wanted something a bit nicer, like I have in my PRSs. You get little wood ones you can buy online. But then, if I just move this, look at that, look at that. I can get the truss rod and adjust it and just go bang and pull it back. And I don't need to use a screwdriver, which is ingenious. Minus points, the tuners are generic seal back ones, and I was expecting them to be nicer than they are. You can feel the tension when you tune up, but when you tune down, they feel like they go completely slack. So the tuners will probably have to be replaced at some point. They seem to be holding tune okay at the moment. The guitar doesn't stay in tune amazingly. That's because if you look, there's a lot of wraps around the string, around the post. I've removed the extra wraps on the lower 3 strings because they're wound. I'm not going to attempt it on the unwound strings because they're old and they will just snap if you try that. They don't want a lot of messing about with. They don't want a lot of pressure. So yeah, there we go. This is my new guitar, and it sounds pretty good to me. These are ceramic pickups. As my project with the Russian Kanonikin has taken a bit of a sharp left turn, I'm not going to bother upgrading the pickups in that. I was going to have a super switch in there, and there's not enough room for the super switch, and there's a whole host of other things wrong with it, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, that I will do a full video on at some point when I get it back from being sorted. But basically it means that I don't want to use those parts caster pickups I bought, the 57-ish PAFs but 4-wire, in that guitar. So they'll probably end up in this, if I'm being honest. I've also got a Tone Pros Tunematic and tailpiece somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I know that somewhere I have some in a box. So I have to look through all my spares to see if I can dig them out. Or I could probably put a roller on this, because A, it would look cool with a roller. B, it will probably, well, just save time if I want to put a Bigsby on it at some point, and I've got a Bigsby lying about, so that might well occur at some point. But there we go, that's my new guitar. Let's go through some quick sounds. So, overdrive is off. Let's go through neck pickup first, and we just go strum some chords really. Sorry, that was the middle. This is the neck. The amp I'm using is my Dark Terror, Micro Dark Terror, going through a 112 Blackstar cab with a Celestion 100 watt AVT G12 speaker. It's a big bastard speaker and it's loud. I'll turn it up a little bit, that being said. Both pickups. bridge pickup. No pedals or anything. Just driving the amp a bit. Bit of a setup still. It's a little bit hard to play. The strings are really rough and I don't really want to bend them. I'm not very confident. Sort of scrape on my finger if I want to go up the string a bit. I feel like they're going to snap at any moment, but I want to hold off changing the strings just yet because I want to sort out the tuners and I don't really want to restring it until the tuners are sorted or tightened or, I don't know, improved somehow. And I might dig out that Tone Pros as well and put that on at the same time while I'm there. So let's do the neck pickup, crayon. Everything full. So let's do the Clapton thing. Don't tell YouTube. Shh. If I change it, then YouTube won't know. It's fairly loud acoustically compared to a solid body. go, that's a quick look at my new guitar. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it now the jack socket's fixed. I got it for an absolute bloody bargain. Again, at some point in this video I'll insert a picture I took of what was wrong with the jack socket. Literally, where is it? I literally went into the F hole, used this, scooped out the broken wire on the jack socket, resoldered that. I tied a bit of thread I tied a bit of thread to a bit of wire. I fed that through here and it came out the F hole, and then I took the wire off the thread, bear with me, I tied that piece of thread, which is now fed through the guitar, to the jack socket on the end, make a knot in it, and then feed it back through. It goes through the F hole, it comes out through there. I pulled it tight, and then over the thread, yes, over the thread, I replaced the washer and the nut, so there's a little bit of thread just sort of in there somewhere. Anyway, I tightened it up fully using my ratchet tool. I cut off the piece of thread I didn't need. Again, it's still in there somewhere, but who cares? And then I put a little bit of, when I checked it worked, when I checked it all worked, I put a little bit of nail polish hardener, just a little bit, just a little dab on the thread, because that works its way in and stops it coming loose. So I won't have to replace this until a piece of wire breaks off, which it shouldn't do because I checked all the other connections. Well, I say other, the other connection on the jack, or the jack breaks and wears out, which hopefully shouldn't be for a while because it feels perfectly fine. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. I don't know if I'll bother editing this. I'll probably just smack it up unedited. This is my new guitar. There you go, the Ibanez AS53. I do wish they'd change the names of their models to be a little bit sexier, but there you have it. Thanks for watching. My name's Al. Like, subscribe, all that nonsense, and until then, I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye!